A Squared Podcast. This is your boy DJ A-Ron alongside my brother, as always, Cornbread Antonio. And we are here with a very special guest for this episode. Antonio, I will defer to you to do the honors of introducing this person, and then we'll go from there. So, Antonio, how you doing, my brother? Who we got on here today?
Absolutely. What up, world? Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel as always. So we're going to get into this person, how I met her. So we'll talk about that later in the episode. But, she don't know it, but she's a friend of the A Squared Podcast already. So I would love to introduce Karen Elle. Welcome to the A Squared Podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So with all of our guests, this is our favorite time. We drop weekly episodes all the time, but when we have interviews, we get excited for this. So can you please explain to the people a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into the questions.
So I've been in the entertainment industry probably since I was 15 years old. I grew up actually in the entertainment industry and never thought about getting into it until I actually got discovered to be a model for one of my, I was somewhere and got discovered. So I modeled shortly, but I didn't like it because I come from a family of entrepreneurs and entertainment industry people. And I just felt like, I want to be on the business side. So I retired from modeling at 21 and started actually 20-ish and started my own business doing management. And over time, you start realizing the importance of branding and just really marketing and getting your talent out there. And it just kind of grew and blossomed from there. Done a lot of productions as a creative director. I just did a lot of things. So just start off, yes, I started being in the entertainment industry pretty much all my life, but I'm trying to move more over into the entrepreneur side, like showing people how to do the things that I've done over the span of my history in the entertainment and how I built the brand and was able to have a lucrative income because it's really hard when you're in this business to carve out longevity and being able to have income. So
that's interesting that you say that, because I was seeing a bunch of quotes going around today, and I sympathize with this because I'm an entrepreneur. I've been on the DJ side for the past 14 years. Media has been 14 years. And they always say if you don't have 10 years of dead air to spare, then let it alone, is what they say, because it is very difficult and it's time consuming, and it's a lot of learning that goes along with this. You will make a lot of mistakes. So I guess I will start with that if I can. I will say, what are some of the mistakes that you learned coming up in the industry from the very beginning, and that you wish you could go back and be like, I wish I could have corrected that?
Well, I always say trust your gut. You feel like you're a newbie. So the people who are speaking to you have way more knowledge or something. And a lot of times you don't know their angle. They could just say, oh, she's a pretty face, I'm just going to take advantage of her. Or I'm just going to have her work for free because she doesn't know any better. So I always say the biggest thing that mistakes that I made was just not trusting my gut. I knew better a lot of times, but I'm like, oh, this person's been in the business for 15 years, so they know more than me, and realize I should have done it the way I felt it should have been done. So just second guessing, making sure that you really know your industry. Do a lot of research and make sure whatever niche, because the industry has so many, it's so expansive, so many areas where you can get in. And it's always good to just kind of know where you fit, where's your home, and then how to really make that your own. That was me. In the beginning, though, you have to be humble and you have to be willing to I got coffee. I worked on sets sometimes. I just did a lot of things just to get out there. But over time, I realized, okay, this is my home. I want to be here. I love management. I love creating things. I love helping things be produced. So this is where I'm going to find my world. And I just kind of hone in that area. And so I always say, don't be desperate. that wasn't my mistake. I was never desperate because I think I grew up and I ran a lot of men and my cousins, and they gave me a lot of game about how to, because you walking into an industry that's mostly a male industry, dominated industry. So that can be intimidating, especially when you're really young as a woman. And just learning that, hold your ground. I mean, I held my ground. I was just really who I was and true to myself. So I always, my biggest thing I felt was second guessing though. I felt feeling like I wasn't gonna do it right if I didn't listen to these people. But
Because you
realized I
think
had it right from the start.
I'm sure you think because they have the knowledge, if they hiring you for something, they have the knowledge of some things that you don't have, so you want to
Right.
go and listen to everything they have to say, and that's
Everything.
not necessarily the right way. I've learned it.
Mhm.
Antonio learned it. We're all going through the same thing, so I totally understand that. Antonio, what you
Yes.
got?
I think that's very transparent of you as well to say that, hey, I went to go get coffee, right? There's people out there who, let's say, mopped the floors, took out the trash, didn't sleep. And social media kind of hurts that, right? Because everybody sees the successes, but you don't
Yeah.
see what I had to do to get here, right? So,
No.
who was there anybody in your field maybe that you looked up to in that manager realm? Because in entertainment, you could look at rappers,
Yeah.
athletes, let's say guest speakers, whatever. But who are like the pinnacle? Oh, they're the greatest manager or top five or anything like that.
Well, my personal manager, he wasn't really famous or anything, but he was very. The first company management I was signed with was MTM Management, and they gave me a lot of work because at the time I was the token black girl, and so whenever they needed that black girl, they sent me. And that's another thing. The industry has evolved so much since I've started because back then, it was always blonde and brunettes and maybe a black girl. And if it was, then they send me because I guess he said I was exotic enough looking for the role.
That's
They
crazy.
never found, like, to me,
God.
I say traditional black women, I feel should represent black women because you
Right.
see it's a lot of light-skinned women representing black culture, but a
Mhm.
lot of times they're multiracial like myself. So it's like, okay, if you're multiracial, how can you represent just a straight culture of people? So I never
Facts.
really liked that. I always wanted them to go after the women. I just felt like you should just hire women or hire a person because you just like they fit that job mode, not because you got to
Yeah.
throw this token in. And I'm seeing that it's evolving back to that. So it's kind of weird how it's, I was saying know your history or it may repeat itself. It really is starting to repeat itself again. I'm noticing that now. Um, so yeah,
Is there
it was
anybody that you looked up to, like you said?
yeah. So I looked up to my manager because he always told me to just, show confidence. But over time, I started meeting other people in the industry. One of my first clients was BET. We worked the production there, and you meet all the managements. And I was watching how managers handle their artists. And one of the art managers, and me and her became really cool, was Miss Deb. She managed it at the time. Gucci Mane and was
Miss
bringing
Dev,
up
I'm very
Nicki
familiar.
Minaj. Yeah,
I'm very
so
familiar.
I love her. She was always to the point, and she just kind of made me a little tough under my skin because I was kind of timid and to the girl, you got to be this way, so
Mhm.
I really admire her. To this day, we keep in touch, and she's just someone I really look up to.
And she was working with Waka as well.
Hmm.
Like you said, Gucci. A lot of those guys, and the interesting part about that, you bring that up, is that there was so many times where I was out in L.A.
Hmm.
and I was there was a time when I was out there right before Trey Songz dropped his album. It was
Yeah.
right before he dropped his very first album, and everybody during the BET Awards kept on saying Miss Dev, Miss Dev, Miss Dev, and
Yeah, I
but
was
they
out there.
said
I was there. Yeah.
so I was at Atlantic Records during that
Hmm.
time when he dropped his album, and they were all saying she kept them focused and she kept them in line. Not just the males, but all the ladies that was working was very honest and very upfront. So that's very interesting that you bring that up because that was coming up during that time when I was there. So that's very
Yes.
awesome. Yeah.
And I end up getting that reputation of having the best looking models in Atlanta, professional. I ran
Hmm.
a tight ship. My girls had to work out. They had to get spa treatments. They had to always just look top tier. They had to eat right. I had to lay eyes on every girl I represented every single month. I don't care if you was in New York, LA, Miami, wherever you need to fly to Atlanta or wherever I'm hosting I always did like a dinner or I rented a restaurant or something, and I had like all my models, all my talent needed to come out. Unless you were booked, you need to be here for dinner because I want to lay eyes on you guys and see where your head is.
That's
Sometimes I
right.
have to pull you out because I tell them all the time in this industry, this is not a brothel, this is management, and you're not sleeping with the rappers, you're not sleeping with these people. So that's really hard, because the girls, some of them not cut out for this. See, with me, it was all about business. I always said the moment you sleep with someone, you devalue yourself. They're not going to take you seriously anymore. Matter of fact, they're not even going to call me to book you because they know they got your phone number. They're going to just hit you up. And I think that was let's don't go there, but the dying art of the video vixens. My vixens was getting paid $5,000, $10,000 for an appearance. Now these girls will show up and shake and carry on a car for free just to be on TV or be on a video. So it kind of, I was keeping the integrity of the part of the industry that I was working in. But as you see that it evolves, I went from that to like, okay, let's build your brand up. Let's just see how we can get you on. So a lot of girls that I work with is like on these shows, um, unbeneath to me, but love and hip hop. A lot of girls that worked with me in the past are now they expanded their brand to what they're doing there. But when they was with me, they actually, were carving out something.
Now, on this show, we don't name names, man,
Oh, I'm
but we
not.
know,
That's why I stopped.
we tell some stories sometimes. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
some stories. Good stories.
So
If I wrote a book,
there we go. Hey,
That's
not
what
the
we
black
say.
book. It's the
That's what
blue
we
book. The
say.
blue book.
if I wrote that book,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
got stories.
On the It's Square podcast, man, we talk, man. So I would like for you to tell us two stories. One of where like the experience with managing somebody went so well, and it's like that's the model client that I love, right? If I get this client again, I know everything's gonna be aboard. And then I need to hear the story where if they call you right now for $1 million, you be like, hell no. I need to hear
multiple of those stories.
you can. I need to hear the good client and the bad client. So no names, but
Yes, indeed.
let us know.
Okay, so good client. The ones that are not necessarily entertainers. Over the years, I kind of branched over to working just with overall public figures. And I have the ones that are just getting started. They don't realize they got a name, but they do. And I have to say, hey, listen, now is my turn to take over and put you out there and get you paid what you're worth. So I have a client like that. The one that you met me with, that client is a gem. If I can have 20 of those clients, I will have 20 of those clients. They do whatever you say. They show up. They're on time. They're professionals. I don't have to worry about any type of girlfriend problems or nothing with this client. It's just is tell me what I need to do, what I have to go. Mindset is different. It's totally a 360. I think I should have been in this space instead of the artist space. But I love artists. I mean, I grew up in the music industry, so artistry has always been my passion. But working with this public figure, I would take 20 of this person hands down. Great experience. I've seen this person come from $500 bookings to $20,000 bookings in just a matter of like small time growth over less than 4 months, and growing beyond that is about to do bigger and bigger projects. I can even speak of these projects as how big they are, but it's just really just good to have people like that. It's refreshing to see someone who's really true to their art. So that person, yes, I would definitely represent more of them if I could.
Right. Okay.
And then on the other side is my women. So I'm gonna group them together. My female artists are the hardest people to represent because
Wow.
if they're not on as fast as they should or they feel they should be, then they start doing things I feel that devalue them. And it's really hard. They get sneaky. And what they don't realize is the other one always come back and tell me, I know everything. Like, you think you didn't tell me, but trust me, your homegirl did. I'm Mama Harrell. Like, everyone tells me everything. So, yeah, it's just hard. And it's kind of sad because I look at it like if someone was representing my daughter, you know, and I have one now that's coming up in the industry, and she's very beautiful. And I say, wow, when she pops, because she will, I'm gonna have to probably quit everything I do and just follow her around because she's very beautiful. And but she one thing about her, her head is on right. You
Yeah.
know, she's not about that dollar. And a lot of people who are getting in this industry don't really come like myself, come from humble beginnings. So when you get a taste of a flight on a jet, or you go to a A-list party and you're like the only non-celebrity in the room, that really do get in your head. And I have to tell them, this is going to be one of many. You
Facts.
can't let
Mm.
that get in your head, but a lot of times it does. So they think they have to do things to keep that invitation. What they don't realize by
Like
them
that
doing those,
image, the
yeah,
image of it. Yeah.
yeah. When they do certain things, you're like you use goods. I guess I had to say it that way, and it's like you're not gonna get booked. They're not gonna bring you back because you know the reason why I'm in this game for so long because my a lot of the males that I work with, I become more of a confidant to them. They have
Mhm.
I call them girl of the week. Cool. Tell me about girl of the week. I got you. I'll give you advice about her or whatever. I don't ever want to become girl of the week. You know, that's how I always look at it. I'm going to be your home girl. I'll be your confidant. You need me to, be there for something. So I have a trusted relationship with a lot of people in the industry. That's why I say I can't write a book because I know too much. But at the end,
As long as you put A Square Podcast in there, we cool
No,
with that. You know
don't
what I'm
do
saying? We
that.
cool with
Don't do
that.
that. Don't do that.
but the point
Hey.
is, yeah, so I think, yeah, the worst was my female artists. A lot of
Mhm.
them, I may have had, I can count on one hand the ones that I would probably represent again. The others, no. Mm-mm.
Gotcha.
Once they get
Do
to a
you
certain
think?
level, they start making certain money. You can't really tell them anything,
Mhm.
and they feel like they don't need you anymore. They start listening to the photographer. They start listening to
Mhm.
the producers, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but that's just for this one song or this one video or whatever you're doing with this person. But for long game, I've been here and I pulled you up. Let's keep that going. Let's build something. So yeah, it's kind of hard.
What do you think? What part of social media has played? I mean, we have to be honest here, because I mean, it's not like we ain't been through it. We've seen MySpace. I've been through Black Planet. Okay, I'm here. I'm in it. Antonio wasn't in it. I'm in it.
I'm still
Yeah.
I
not
was
in it.
in
I
it.
don't even
I'm
care
in
about
it.
social media now. Yeah,
I'm in
you're
it.
right.
I've been through every app, all of it. But what part of it, like, where did this stem from to where it only takes a quick moment to where you go from value to devalue? Because I feel like it happens so fast. Like it's here today and you're gone tomorrow off of one thing. We see it so often.
It's unforgiving, but you also see too that now it's kind of like a no shame thing going on too. Like you can't shame
Mm,
anyone, so people are not
right.
really falling off too hard. The counsel community, okay, now how can I say it without canceling myself?
Yeah.
You almost can't.
So right, so yeah, you just have to make sure that when you most people that I see that are posting things on social media that can get them canceled, I feel is when they're in the heat of the moment.
Yes.
They're hot right
Yes,
now.
indeed.
Someone came for them, and instead of having that level head, they say something, and then now they're going. So I always tell my clients go by the 24-hour rule. Don't post anything for 24 hours. I don't care what they say.
Hmm.
Step away and think about it. You can write it out, but don't hit send. Don't post and
It's so
read it the
funny you
next
say
day.
that. I don't really, I have to say this because this is amazing that you said that. I literally like tweeted this today. I said, y'all don't know how many times I have commented under a post, and before I post it, and before I click send, I click delete.
Right.
Because it literally it could go from here to here in a heartbeat.
In a
So,
heartbeat.
can I be the minority in this conversation?
Please
Go
do.
ahead.
Please
Yeah.
do.
And Aaron just said it, right? I'm not on the tweets and because to me, I don't care. I don't know. I don't know. I love people in real life. I don't need to see them
Me
online
too.
and
Me
comment with
too.
them, right?
Yeah.
So Aaron can answer this because he just said it, or if you've seen it from your clients. Why is it important to comment? Like, because I don't understand the thirst of, let's say, if I scroll down my feed on Instagram, right? I'm like, man, that's a great picture, or they tripping. guess what?
Mhm.
I go to the next picture. I don't need to
Right.
comment. So why is it like such a fascination to comment or like or follow all these people? I don't know. Like I said, I'm the minority in this. So I didn't know if y'all had any tips or why people do it.
Low key, I'm a minority too. However, I have to be on social media because of the line of work that I'm in. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. If I see something ridiculous, I'm just like, oh my God, and I just keep going. I'm
Right.
probably the most quietest person on social media you'll ever see. I don't feel like so I use my social media strictly for business. I do have a personal page, but the social media, my business pages are the ones you're going to see posts from. My personal, you might see a post every 6 months, because I'm that private and I don't want
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people in my business. So for the ones who do that, I feel like I always say they need a hug or something. I don't know. I just feel like they need attention. And because I never understood, if you don't like someone, why are you even following
Why are you
them? Like I
following
see
them?
that all the time. It's like, why are
Facts.
you following that person? Like I always tell my girls, I say there's nothing wrong with just having like being mysterious. People don't need to know. I
Right.
mean,
Yes.
people wonder about me, and that's good. That keeps you relevant because you never know all the answers. So that's why I tell sometimes you have to have a level of mystery, like be mysterious. Like people don't need to know. So yes, there are people who will post on every single thing, and I think it's just because they need attention. They feel like this is going to keep them on. It's just like a microwave society. That's what I think.
And I
Gotcha.
always say it's two sides to this. I always say it's the fan perspective or the person that's following you. It's
Hmm.
their perspective because they live to comment and they live for the engagement
Hmm.
from you. It's almost like I know somebody who consistently was after a celebrity, one
Hmm.
celebrity,
Hmm.
consistently. Every post, they say something. Once that person said something back to them, justification. Justification. They was like, look what it look. They said something to me. And
Right.
then it's the other side of it. Because it's not like Jay-Z or Beyonce or the top people are not on social media. They are.
Hmm.
They're on there. They're looking to see what's going on. They
Hmm.
understand what's happening,
Yeah.
but they're never going to engage with you.
No.
They're
That's
never
me.
going to engage with you. It's not
Never.
going to happen.
Nope.
So it's like two sides there. Another person, people I love, Ice Cube. He's gonna come at you and be like, "Why you worried about what I'm saying? Don't follow me."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
easy. Block. That's it. You know what I mean? So
I don't say
I think
anything.
it's a justification of it. I,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it boils down to.
Understand.
So I will also ask you, being in the industry, knowing how things are, what are some of the things that you in media, for example, whether it's TMZ, whether it's something from the Breakfast Club, or outlets that we use, whether, like I said, TMZ, Breakfast Club, whatever other outlets you have, High 97, whatever it is. What are some of the who are some of the people that you look towards to spread the correct information out? Because we always look for negative information and whatnot, but we never kind of big up some of the people that, whether it's even, it could be Elliot Wilson, somebody that's out there that spreads good information that you look up to and say, hey, these people are really good people.
No, I do follow the Breakfast Club. I think they're kind of on it. They say it
Mm-hmm.
how it is and really don't care. They are a little censored though. Sometimes they don't really always go there.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Smiley morning show was really kind of cool. I used to watch that. Um, but the ones who tell it how it is, I think TMZ do, but they
That's
don't
what I say.
care. I mean, they have the facts. They have insiders. They know everything. Like
Like, these
they
are the
know it.
facts, and that's what it is.
That's it. So if you want the facts, you go there. It's funny how TMZ will announce someone who passed away faster than CNN or somebody, because they just know. I don't know
But they
who, what,
know.
and they're always correct. They never have to go back and retract anything. So
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't
yeah.
think about that.
No doubt.
Hmm.
So Karen, like I said, first off, we appreciate you coming on as
No
well,
doubt.
Thank you.
spreading the word and obviously your professions. So there is a client that I met you with, right?
Hmm.
Hopefully we can have him on the show one time,
Right.
to interview him. Could you tell us, let's say, how you guys met, or how is it where there's maybe a talent out there. How do they get a chance to meet Karen or somebody who can represent them and market them in the correct way?
Well, like Aaron said, I'm kind of like the Beyonce and Jay-Z. I don't post a lot, but I'm on there and I pay attention to things. And I think someone tagged me to something he was doing.
Okay.
And I was actually putting together a business retreat. And it's like having a healthy work-life balance type of retreat. And I needed to bring on speakers to talk about different elements of, work
Yes.
and your personal life, like just kind of marry everything. And I didn't have anyone in the mental health space. So I reached out thinking, okay, he has a manager, someone would contact me back. And he did. And I said, okay. So I told him what I was doing, and he said, yeah, sign me up, I'll come out. And I said, how come you answered me back? Where's your management? Well, me and the one I was working with is breaking up. It's not going to work out, and I'm just trying to find someone. And somehow or another, he told me about a friend of his that was going to represent him that had been, and he's known for over, a matter of years, maybe 15 plus years. And I said, okay, that's cool. So finally, it was getting close to the event, and I said, how is it working out with your manager? And he said, well, I don't know, because I need somebody who can bring real opportunities. And I said, well, if you like, I can interview her and see if she has what you need, because I kind of know what managers should be doing. So when I've interviewed, it's more like a fangirl situation.
Right.
I hope this person, but it was more
Yeah.
fangirl. It wasn't business. I'm business.
Yeah.
I'm straight
Yeah.
up like, dude.
We won't ask you. We don't worry.
yeah,
We
yeah.
won't
No,
ask you
yeah.
who it is. It's
It's
okay
all good,
for
all
now. For now. For now.
So, so I told him, I said, you've already grown past that person who you want to be your manager. And we could do a trial. We could see how we mesh, because I'm real particular who I work with. And we could just see if this can work. And he was like, cool. So I gave him a 90-day agreement, and he's been my client
Nice.
ever since.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
Love
Beautiful.
it. Love it.
Now, I want to ask you this because this is something that has come up many a times in my career. But how does one know if they're ready for a management team or not? Like, do
When
you
you're
know
getting
as
bookings. When you're getting bookings.
on your own?
I tell everyone, do not go after management or agents unless you have jobs lined up. That'll move you to the front of the line. If you just want to get on, you like everyone else. They just want to get on. I know a lot of people who wants to get on, but I don't know if you're coachable. I don't know if anybody even have a need for you. Like I'm real funny. Like I don't represent a lot of people because I'm gonna take something from Erica Badu. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Okay,
I love it.
I'm
I love
very
it.
sensitive about the
Yeah.
people I work with. So you have to be really true to your art. You have to be very committed. This can't be, if you have a 9 to 5, I don't represent that person.
Mhm.
I want the starving artists that went out here and booked themselves and got a few gigs and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna put some stuff behind this person because they really want it. I slept on couches in New York. When I flew to New York, true story, with $40 in my pocket and didn't know where I was gonna stay. And my relationships with people, just being a good person, just over the years, and I just call up some of my friends or models or what have you and say, hey, I'm in New York. Where you staying? Oh, I'm still trying to figure out. Girl, stay with me. You sleep on my couch. So that wasn't the purpose of the call. Just letting them know I was in town for a job, and they're saying I have somewhere I'm sleeping. So people like that are gonna show up. If you got a paycheck coming in each week, you're not as hungry. And I'm not saying be homeless,
I
but
get you.
have streams of income where you can be free enough to do your craft. If you have a 9 to 5, you're restricted to those hours where you stuck at work. And now, clients don't care about that. So
It's
I
a
know
specific dedication.
specific dedicated. You have to
It
be
really is.
really.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, if you really want to do this, take a leave from work for 30 days. Just take a leave. Go out there and see. Be hungry. Go out there and hunt for your food. Go out there and hunt for your food.
Yeah.
If you can get yourself booked or see some promising things, then now you kind of know how to start saving up your money to walk away from this thing that's holding you back from your artistry. So I'm not a person say, oh, everybody quit your job, let's do this. No. But you do need to know if you got what it takes. I've told this to parents when their kids are in college full time, like let them take off a semester. Let's see. They booked a few jobs. Let's see. If they don't, they're young. I let my own child do it, and blew up. So I always say, try it. We never know. But what I don't like is to see people never try it. So
Facts.
I'm very passionate, so I have to make sure you want it before I get behind you. Because
And that's very interesting. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
the hardest thing is to have people who I can book, but they're like, oh, I got to work or I got class. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're wasting your time and mine. So I kind of want somebody who's truly committed to what they're doing.
And I like what you're saying about even your own child.
No,
You like go out and try it. Hey, I'm gonna get behind you, but we gotta see if you have what it takes.
Hunt for your food. That's my thing. That's my. I say all the time. Hunt for your food. Anyone can hand you a steak every night. I can give you a steak every night.
Talk about it.
But can you go out there and get your own steak? Can you go out there and get your oodles and noodles? Because that might be where you start off at. You got to start small.
Yeah.
But you have to get out here and eat. And it's not like I know people, I eat nothing. No, it's true. Can you feed yourself?
Love it.
That lets me know if you're ready.
Karen, you ready for the shits, man? You ready for
Okay.
this? I'm seeing if you ready, man.
He's ready. We ready.
Every female that we have on here, and we've interviewed probably like 15, 20,
Okay.
asking this question. We need to know some girl code on this episode. I mean, on this podcast, man, because there's plenty of things that me and DJ talk about. That's guy code, right?
Okay.
Like if you go into a stall, don't take the stall next to me. That's guy code. Use the one all the way at the corner, right?
Okay.
If Aaron called me, or if I call Aaron and he's with his wife, don't put me on speakerphone, bro. Like
You don't know what you're about to say.
you don't, bro. Tell me, give me the warning, and I'm like, all right, say less, right? So that's guy code, but we need to hear some female girl code, especially within the industry. I know you worked with a lot of models and different things. I know you hear something and you see stuff and been through it, right? So what's some girl code for us?
In relations to what? Because there's a lot of girl code.
Life. I don't care. Tell us something. We learned it. Look, I could. The people who are listening right now, they turning it up.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You don't gotta give it to us.
Yeah.
Give it to the ladies.
Give it to the ladies.
Ladies girl code. Well, I always say be a lady at all times. I know being a lady to me is like a dying art. Everyone wants to twerk. Everyone wants to have their butt cheek hanging out. Everyone wants to show boobs and all that. I tell people there's a time and place for everything. I don't show my body unless it's worth being. So,
Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. What's going on?
Girl code. Be a lady, man. Stand out from the crowd.
I like
I've
it.
sat down sometimes at a club with a homegirl one time. She and I was sitting down. We had a glass. We both was drinking on something, and she just ordered a hookah. And this thing I know, sparkles came. Like when people buy a bottle and they were standing at our table, like dancing. I'm like, I didn't order that bottle. She said, no, he did. And I said, really? I haven't even spoke to the man. He said, I just admired how ladylike you were. Men still want that, ladies.
Facts.
Men still want a lady. They don't want something that Muhammad Ali said it best. He said, my wife isn't advertising. I'm not selling her. No one needs to see her goods but me. And I take that to heart. He was someone that I grew up around too. I grew up around a lot of affluential people. And I really respect that. So 90% of the times when you see me, I'm in a dress and a nice pair of heels. I'm a lady at all times. And I think that's a girl code that needs to be said some more. Because I've had the most freakish things happen to me. And it's like, I don't even know these dudes. Like someone buying a bottle. How much is a bottle at the club? I've never bought a bottle. Okay. This dude bought me a bottle and didn't even say hello, don't know my name. Because he admired something. And didn't even ask me for my number or anything. He just wanted to compliment the fact that I was sitting in there as a lady. And he really thought it was cool. So things like that, I feel ladies need to get back to is, and if you're not sure, because some people are not raised right, I'm just going to say that. look up ladies, look up women that are highly successful, prominent, well-respected women. Look at how Michelle Obama carry herself. Look at how,
That too.
Oprah, all these people, these ladies, these highly successful women are not wearing crap and showing off their bodies. The one time I went shopping with some friends and, everybody's standing around getting dressed and they were like, whoa, Ken, I didn't know you had all that under there. I said, good, good. It's not that I don't have it. I
That's
don't feel the need
great.
to display it to the world.
Hilarious.
You don't need to show that. Like, what keeps you
Yeah.
interested?
Facts.
Be
That's a fact.
interesting, ladies.
I like it.
I love that. Be interesting. And I'm glad you brought that up, Antonio, because there was a big controversy going around from the Essence Festival.
Hmm.
And Karen, I'm sure you saw it. There was some twerking going on stage. It was a lot. And we know, as for the Essence Festival, it's like Black excellence. It has been about Black excellence.
Has been.
Very, very long time. It's about getting fly. It's about us celebrating us. And there was some
showing
things.
our culture and our work and celebrating entrepreneurs and Black businesses and all of that. Not twerking. Call me old school. I just think
It's really not, but
I
there
don't
was
think
some.
I
There,
twerked a day in my life. I think I tried to twerk one time at my house, and
You
it
got,
was
you got fired. You got fired. They fired you. They was like, "Hey, what's going on?"
yeah. I think I would have gotten fired. I always tell people if I ever stripped at a strip club, they don't put me in a white strip club where I can just move past
man.
like that.
oh my!
I gotta be that girl. I can't.
man.
And not twerking. I don't know. I can't even work at a white girl strip club.
But it was definitely a lot of controversy with a lot of the twerking and not performing. It was just the twerking. It wasn't performing. And to that, I didn't want to speak on it because I stay out of women's business. Because if I say something, then I get looked at as the bad guy or the person or the man that's speaking up and he's being in women's business, so on and so forth. But I believe there was India Reed that spoke up. I definitely saw Erica Badu say some things. Women like that, they'll say something. Our higher ups won't necessarily say anything, but that's because they're not. It is what it is for them. But when you see somebody like Erica Badu or India Reed speak out and say, "Hey, it is a time and a place for everything," and then get bashed for her saying that, it's like, well, where do we draw the line? What are we supposed to do?
So I said this years ago, and the girl I used to represent still uses it, even though I don't represent her anymore, and I don't want her name mentioned. But I used to say there's different species of women. There's the species that are elevated, and they move in a more enlightenment way. They carry themselves accordingly, and those are the ones that are unique. Like you said, you mentioned very unique women, Erica Badu and all that. And then there's the herd. So the herd follow each other. So honestly speaking, I'm not saying anything wrong. They're just following the herd. That's why all of them was upstairs on stage shaking and carrying, twerking. Because the herd was doing it. Oh, I gotta be part of the herd. So again, leaders don't follow the herd.
Facts.
That's why Erica Badu's still selling out tours. That's why she's still been around. That's why India Reed, when they can drop that, but here's my dates, they're full.
Janet Jackson.
All of them.
Yeah.
Full. Because they're respected women, they're leaders in their field. So if you are heard, how many of them still around?
It ain't many.
Exactly. Because they all twerking together. I mean, it's like, what's setting you apart from the other? Now, I think it's cool to have fun. I actually wish I could twerk. I ain't gonna lie. But
I feel you.
I wish I could. I ain't gonna lie. However, I don't think I should be twerking at a place, like you said, that is part of an establishment that's celebrating our culture. I don't think twerking your behind on stage is celebration of our culture. I think it's cool if you got a boyfriend or a husband, you want to twerk for him and you want to party like that. Or if you're single and You advertising, I don't know. And that's what you want to do. And you want I gotta know you can twerk. I mean, hey, I guess if you're in an environment like that. So I'm not saying sit around like prudes and just don't have life. I'm saying there's a time and place for all that.
It's time and place.
Is it?
I would
No,
I would
I'm
love
not,
to
I'm
go
not,
and see
that's it.
Patti LaBelle. I love her, but every now and then I need me some Medina Howard. There's a
Yeah.
time and a place for
Me too.
everything.
I listen to trap music still sometimes.
That's
I mean,
it.
what I'm gonna do some days. I'm like, I'm gonna listen to What's Like a Plan,
Yeah.
Chain, and
Yeah.
Future, and I
Yeah.
always say that. I get my manners from my grandmother, my lady, what is it? I get my manners from my grandmother, my morals from my mom, and I get my relationship advice from Future, honey, because he teaches me everything that I need to know about a man.
Yeah, for sure.
Future that N-word, so
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
but at the end, I'm not gonna take his advice when it's time to be a lady.
Right.
You see,
Right.
so you gotta you have to learn when you pull
It's a
out some cords.
balance. It's a balance,
And I
right?
think that balance is being lost, and I think it's really hurting us as ladies. I really do. As
Gotcha.
society too, because I think it's too much on the men, because you seeing it all the time. My daughter opened up her app the other night, and she was like, "Bruh," I'm like, "Why you say that? What? I just saw someone's butt. I don't want to see someone's butt the moment
Just
I open
randomly.
up my app." And this is coming from another woman, like she's opening her app to. Like, what is happening? And I know you guys probably see it all day long. I know they
It's
put it in
all
your
day.
feed, and it's like it's desensitizing men.
It's almost like
unfollow
it's
somebody like that.
Yeah, and it's actually almost like we're. I hate to say it like this because I know I sound old when I say this all the time. It sounds like
Nothing
this.
wrong.
But
No.
it's like it's we're leaving nothing to the imagination.
No.
So therefore, the compatibility and everything is being lost. Now it's sex and that's it, because we've lost the imagination part of, or the and the lust and the love and the infatuation with a person. We've
Right.
lost that because we see everything you got, both men and women. It's both parts. Because I unfollowed some rappers that I'm like, bro, what is you doing? You posed in gray sweatpants. You done what you did to get yourself together to take a picture, and I'm following you because I like your rap music.
I don't
I'm
want to
like,
see all that.
I don't need to see that.
Mm-mm.
So it's like
No.
the imagination part of it has lost. And it was funny because Antonio said something to our group chat the other day that was really funny. It was a guy saying he has never seen Janet Jackson's knees. He ain't never seen in no video Janet Jackson's legs or her knees.
Stay covered
And
up.
we laughed about it so much. I had to go do some Googles. I'm like, Janet
find them?
Jackson knees. Wasn't much that came up there.
Oh my
But
God.
the point is that the loss of the imagination to what we love, and the attractive part of it is lost because it's already there.
Yeah.
So Karen, do you have any social media that people can reach you, a website, anything that we have plenty of artists that we've interviewed before. We have our demographic is wide, so like we
Very
might have some
wide.
people that want to aspire to, let's say, go into management or be managed, right? So like, how can people reach out to you, contact you? I know you said you sometimes check it, but you're busy. But
No, well,
how can people hit you up?
Low key, my personal email, personal social media is really booming. I think I have over 60,000 followers. Why? I don't know. I don't post anything, but I do check. And so, Karen Elle Official is my personal one, and then my business stats, like get your stats up, stats STATS media management is my media side. Can reach me there all the time.
Okay. We'll put it in the comments too for the people up there.
We
Yes.
definitely appreciate you for coming on here and sharing that knowledge. And I definitely really appreciate it because, like I said, again, me being in as a DJ, I have traveled around this country, and It's hard to be in the industry. So it's wonderful to hear from somebody that is also in the industry, but not as an artist. You know what I mean? I think we hear too much from the booming artist that we never get to hear from the person that's doing the work in the background, in the business of the background. So I sincerely appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate being here. I think some of this needs to be said. Another piece of advice I tell people, always work on your brand. Work on your brand. Work on your brand. Make you so unique that you don't sound like the noise. You see, I always say when instruments come together, it sounds like noise when they're, playing all at one time. But you got to set yourself apart from the noise. How can you sound like authentic music or something different? So I always say work on your craft all the time and just be you, be yourself. Don't feel like you got to follow the herd. Those are the ones I feel will stand out. And yes, there's some politics in this industry. It really is. But,
Yes, it is.
if you had 500,000 followers and you drop your own little single and you get half of those people purchasing it, you don't have to look up. They will come to you. I always say that. When your brand is big enough, you don't have to look for management. Management find you. And low key, how I found the client that I'm working with. I saw something that was shared on my page. I didn't know the guy. And I saw something and made me reach out to him because I liked what I saw.
It's organic.
It was organic. And those are the ones I see that actually make it, are the organic, true to who they are people. Now, of course, when you give it the label, I've seen them do it. They want to. I can name a lot of artists that started off. Maybe they were dancers and they made them into a singer or rapper, what have you. But their whole purpose was to be a dancer. And they end up blowing up in the music industry. So it's a lot of people like that. But something made them stand out when they were sought after. Always be sought after, So work on your brand. Always just be you. I always tell my the people who want to do it, I say, it's better to act than to not. So even if you have to do stuff for free, just to get yourself, not stupid stuff. Like something that's going to have a crowd of people. They already got the line of, hey, I just want to do a set. I do it for nothing. I just want to come out and support the event. They'll do it. A lot of times they'll let you get a little piece. And now you can post that everywhere. Hey, I was at this festival. I was here. Yeah. So I always say, just always think outside the box. Find ways where you can strategically place yourself somewhere and just stay true to it.
Me and Aaron have always said that plenty of times. The answer's already no, right? Before you ask, the answer's no. So let them tell you no, right? Because you might get that yes.
You might.
Shoot you to the moon. Shoot you to the moon. So
all you need
really
is that one
appreciate
opportunity.
you. That one.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we really appreciate you for joining the A Square podcast. Again, it has been a wonderful talk, and we hope to have you back soon. And not only that, you're a friend to the show now.
Okay.
And we would love to have anybody on our show that you have at any time, whether that's in studio physically or how we doing it right now. You are family to this podcast, and we genuinely appreciate you.
I appreciate you all as well. This is great, and I want you guys to keep up your good work. I think it's good, and like you said, no matter what you guys are doing, whether you speak it to me or artists or whomever, people need platforms, and this is good. I'm glad and happy that you are offering one.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So with that being said, it's the A Square podcast. Antonio, a.k.a. Cornbread, Karen, we appreciate you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.